with the crackdown on Lashkar terrorists that has also intensified, their houses that are now being identified and destroyed in Kashmir. The house of a third terrorist who has an affiliation with the Lashkar-e-Toiba was active since June 2023 was blown up last evening. On Thursday night, the house of a local terrorist, Adil Thokar, was also allegedly involved in the Pahalgam terror attack, was demolished. According to intel sources, Adil initially travelled to Pakistan through the Atari border on a valid student visa. Once in Pakistan, he came in contact with his handlers. The Indian intel agencies began monitoring his digital footprint and maintained surveillance on his residence in Bijbihara. Now, the intensity of this surveillance reportedly increased significantly in 2024. In a covert infiltration operation, Atil had re-entered India between October and November 2024, slipping along the LOC along with other few individuals. Post-infiltration, Adil's movements were traced through Kishwar, from where he is believed to have made his way towards Anantnag in South Kashmir. For months, he provided shelter to Pakistani terrorists, waiting for the right time for the attack. And when tourists started pouring in from the Baisaran Valley post-March, Adil decided to take the attack to Pahalgam. Now, apart from destroying the homes of these terrorists, massive search operations that have also been carried out in the houses of terror associates in almost every district of Kashmir. Well, sabka time aayega message as far as Lashkar terrorists who are now on the radar. The Ehsan-Ul-Haq house that has now been blown up. This is the fourth such terror associate. We are told that the house has now been demolished. It's been blown up by our forces within 24 hours. This is the military action that we are now looking after the Pahalgam massacre, where Lashkar houses that are now being destroyed on camera the very moment of action when the house was blown up to smithereens, as we are getting those pictures as well. Let's get in a word from Sahil, who is connected with us right now. Sahil, these terrorists or these terror associates, we are told as far as when it comes to identification of their houses, and thereafter there are certain reports of some explosives that were also found within those houses yesterday when they were blown up, and that is the reason why security forces has gone ahead to demolish it completely.
Well, first off, there is multi-dimensional action that's taking place in Kashmir against the terrorist and terror ecosystem, while the security forces continue to conduct search operation, combing operation inside forest areas of Kashmir Valley. The action is also taking place in hinterland. We have seen, in fact, the action beginning from Adil Thokar, who is associated with Lashkar-e-Toiba, had traveled to Pakistan and received training there, and now security forces believe that he has returned back to Kashmir, and it's he who guided these foreign terrorists to the Baisaran Valley. His house was blasted during night, and in fact then the Ehsan-Sheikh and other terrorists who were in fact active in Kashmir Valley and associated with Lashkar-e-Toiba, the action is being taken. During night, 3 more houses of Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists have been blasted. One is in fact the Ehsan-Sheikh, who is from Muran, Pulwama. He in fact had also traveled to Pakistan in 2018, received training, and security forces believe that he might have returned back to Kashmir Valley and started in fact terror activities. Then in Shopaya district, Shahid Kute, he is also active terrorist. His house was also blasted, and in Kulgam district, Zahid, another terrorist, his house was also blasted. Previously, in 2 cases that we witnessed yesterday, security forces had said that there was coordinated search operation. These houses were being raided. There was some explosive material, and that explosive material basically triggered blast, and these houses suffered damages. But in these 3 cases that in fact we are witnessing during this night, in fact during last night, the statement is awaited from the officials from Jammu and Kashmir Police. But yes, there seems to be a pattern, and action is being taken against the active terrorists or active in Kashmir Valley who are associated with the Lashkar-e-Toiba like terror organizations. They are being identified, and action is being taken to give a strong message to terror ecosystem that there is no space for those who are in fact with the ranks of terror groups or who are working on the directions of Pakistani terror handlers. This is what we understand from
terrorists, even when it comes to the local operatives, all of them who are now being identified, and their houses that has been the target of our security forces. We are awaiting as far as when it comes to a official statement on this. Sahil continues to be with us. We also talk about how India is also getting ready as far as first directions that have now been issued. We are looking at the Army Chief also, who was in Srinagar yesterday. The Navy that has been testing missile from INS Surat. There is the exercise Akraman that has also been taking place in central air bases. And there is stimulating deep strike missions with Rafale Su-30 MKI at core of drills as well on standby, and S-400 air defense systems that are also set to be operational. Now, the Indian Armed Forces are seemingly battle ready to teach Pakistan a lesson. The Indian Air Force carried out a war drill called Akraman. These exercises that involved the frontline firefighters, Rafales, Su-30 MKIs, MiG-21, and also sending out a strong warning to Pakistan. Let's get in a word from Pradeep, who is also connected with us right now. Pradeep, these exercises that have been taking place, it is already being said that India is always ready. Of course, when it comes to just waiting, the Jawans are just waiting for the orders to implement.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's one of the reasons that yesterday Chief of Army Staff General Dwivedi was also in Kashmir Valley. He was reviewing the security scenario, and he was also checking the preparedness of the troops. You rightly said the Indian troops, whether it's the ground forces or whether it's the air force, they're all well prepared to deal with the situation, because they are just waiting for the orders. Whenever they'll be getting a green signal, accordingly they will be carrying out a surprise surgical strike, you can say, or anything, whatever the government has planned this time to teach Pakistan a lesson. So they are well prepared for that.
Pradeep, I'm just going to interrupt you. Yavar is connected with us right now. Yavar has been getting us these exclusive pictures and information as well when it comes to this action that has now been taken of demolishing the houses of terrorists and their associates. Yavar, over to you.
Well, Amita, right now we are reporting from the Pulwama, where yesterday a house of the militant was demolished. Maharaj is showing you towards these exclusive visuals. We are the first to show our viewers from the ground zero. This is a house which has been demolished. Now this is the third house in the late day, and today two more houses have been demolished. One in the Shopian, that's the house of LET Commander Shahid, and one more in the Kulgam. So overall 5 houses have been demolished. Now remember that this is a house of Ehsan. Ehsan is the active militant, and this act has been as a part and parcel of the procedures that have been conducted. Yesterday late evening, you can see the extensive house has been blown up, and it has completely razed to the grounds. Pertinent to mention here is that besides that, the investigation has been swiftly taken up. These are the images of the adjacent houses which has also suffered the damage. The glasses have been broken, but the visuals that we are showing our viewers is the house of Ehsan Sheikh of the Muran Pulwama, which has been targeted. So the security forces, they are eventually maintaining that the investigation into the Pahalgam carnage has been intensified. And yesterday there was a security review meeting by the DGP Nalin Prabhat, particularly reviewing the security at the Shopian, Kulgam, Anantnag, Pulwama districts. So this is the step that we have been witnessing as we are reporting from the Pulwama, that particular site where this, yesterday this house was blown up. Back to you.
Right, but Yavar, when we speak of these terrorists and their houses that are now being identified as well, what about the overground workers as well? Because what is being said as far as these Pakistani terrorists are also concerned, how deep did they infiltrate, and the kind of support that they received from certain OGWs as well, that is also being identified?
Well, exactly, if we talk about the OGW networks that have already been intensified with regard to the operations. Times now broke it first. Over 1,500 suspects have been rounded up, and many arrests have also been made. Now, pertinent to mention here is that if we talk about the involvement of the foreign militants in this, the security forces have eventually said that they are looking onto the suspects, and the suspects, sketches have been already in the public with the sufficient reward that have been announced by the Anantnag police as well. They are carrying a 20 lakh bounty on their head. So the security forces are continuing continuously maintaining that they are on the zero tolerance against these acts, and this is why we are witnessing that these operations have been taken up. As I told you that this is the fifth house in past 24 hours that has been blown up. Yesterday late evening this was blown up, and after that the security forces eventually they goes on to the other investigations aspects as well. But if we sum up with the aftermath of the Pahalgam, there has been many of the investigations that have been initiated with regard to the NIA, with regard to the J&K police, because the J&K police is a primary investigation agency with the FIR copy that have been accessed by the Times now clearly reflects that an additional SP rank officer is investigating that particular case. So all the things have been put in, all the perspectives for the securities to the investigations to find out those who are behind that act. Back to you.
Yavar, as we are also speaking of when it comes to these terrorists who are said to be active for some time, how is the security agencies now identifying whether or not did they travel to Pakistan, receive any training? How did they infiltrate within Indian territory? How is that now being identified? Yavar?
Well, exactly. If we talk about the investigation and identifying of those, there has been many of the sketch process or the investigation that have been quickly taken up. I will ask my VJ to move towards this location because there's a heavy glass pans that are roaming around. See the intensity of this damage. First I will show you the adjacent house where this damage has occurred. This is the nearby place of the Ehsan's house. The neighbors whom house have also suffered damage during the demolition drive, and we have been given the understanding that he is active since 2023, and yesterday at around 10:30 the security forces they were here, and eventually this drive has been put in place. Maharaj is showing you these visuals from inside that what are the scenes that have been put in all across. Now from the overview we will show our viewers that how this house has suffered damage in an operation by the security forces. As I told you that back-to-back operations are being done against it. As you are seeing about the identifying the perpetrators, that is a part of an investigation that has already been done on the part of the security forces. As I told you that the Anantnag police has already issued a statement with regard to this, but a lot of these sort of actions are expected on the lines when it comes to the Pahalgam carnage. Back to you.
Right, but are all of these terrorists and these terror associates happen to be playing an active role in the Pahalgam terror attack, Yavar?
Well, it's a part and parcel of the investigation, but it's unlikely that they are having this role in that particular case. That's what we are learning at this point in time. But yes, they have been active in the ranks over the past several years. For the security forces in the J&K across, not only in Kashmir, not only in the Anantnag, but for the entire Jammu and Kashmir, the priority was first to ensure that the full safety for the tourists will be developed, and that has already been on the cards. And that's the reason back-to-back security review meetings are being chaired. Okay. Minute-to-minute details are being provided to the PMO, HMO, and similar to this thing, there has been continuous appeal that has been thrown by the Chief Minister, by the DGP, by the LG, by everybody from the nook and corner of Kashmir, that this incident is unfortunate, widely condemned. However, on the part and parcel of the investigation, the security forces went on to send the sort of a message that if you hit, we will hit you hard. So this is the proof that what has been the scene all across. Yesterday 3 houses were demolished, and in the intervening night 2 houses more were demolished. one in the Shopian and one in the Pahalgam.
So this is what remains as far as when it comes to the terrorists and their terror associates. This is the action that they have been facing. We have seen pictures coming in from Pulwama.